Well, this just got interesting. The Golden State Warriors might have just been handed a perfect opportunity for more reasons than just one. Right here is the total number of playoff games each of these teams' starting lineups have played. Yeah, but it gets better. Both Draymond Green and Klay Thompson have more playoff wins than the entire Kings starting five has playoff games. There's playoff experience, and then there's the Golden State Warriors. And it's this level of experience that makes it hard to see a young and inexperienced Kings team beating the champs. But if you thought the only reason the Dubs are favourites in this series is because of experience, you'd be wrong. There is one reason above any other reason as to why I'm confident the Warriors will win this series. Stephen Curry. Yes, I am aware that is the most obvious analysis you have ever heard, but trust me, you'll want to hear this. In 4 games this year against the Kings, Steph has averaged 33, 7 and 5. But it gets better. He's shooting 58, 50, 91 in those 4 games and is a plus 72. And if you want an example of what Steph can do, not that you need one, look no further than his 47, 8 and 8 game on 0 turnovers and 24 shots, in which Steph scored 17 points in the 4th. Right here, the Dubs run a split action. Sabonis is a step slow, and well, Steph gets the 4-point play. On this play, Looney sets a screen at half court, which Sabonis has to guard because, well, it's Stephen Curry, and all Steph has to do is drive straight to the rim for what probably should have been a 3-point play. Now, if you thought I was only going to show clips of him attacking Sabonis, no. What makes Steph so great is on these other plays down the stretch, he just decided which defender he was going to attack. Like on this play where Kevin Huerter gets switched onto Steph and watches his whole life flash before his eyes before Steph just does what he does. And we all know that Steph's impact goes way beyond just scoring. With 40 seconds left in the game, Steph gives the ball to Dre, and it looks as though the Warriors are about to run their patterned handoff, right? Well, Keegan Murray overcommits, thinking that, and Dre has a wide open lane to the rim for a dunk. But before we talk more about Steph and why teams like the Kings in particular have never been able to beat him in a 7-game series, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The Golden State Warriors have been awful on the road this season. We all know that. But I've got some good news for you guys. Not only is Sacramento within driving distance of San Francisco, but I'm not too worried about the Warriors' road struggles at all. Look no further than the first 3 rounds of last year's playoffs. Everyone remembers those series as being pretty comfortable wins, right? Well, these are the margins of victories of the Dubs away from home in those 3 series. Now, why am I mentioning this? Because they've already shown the blueprint. Last year, the Dubs only lost 1 game at home, and that was against the Celtics. And now they're an even better home team than they were last year. So you're telling me Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green just need to steal 1 game on the road in any given series. I like those chances, particularly when Steph can do this on any given night in the playoffs, or he can do this on any given night against the team that he's about to face. I also like the Dubs' chances because they have this guy. Yes, the same guy that said he wanted the Kings is the biggest X factor for the Dubs in this series. We all know Sacramento have a monster in Domantas Sabonis, who is a mismatch for most defenders in the league. Playoff Draymond, however, is a different beast. We saw it last year against Nikola Jokic on key possessions, and I can assure you Sabonis is not as good as Jokic. And it's plays like this which are peak Draymond. Dre starts off by protecting the paint from a driving Barnes. He then reads the pass and tips it before swiping down again and pressing Sabonis all the way to the 3-point line before he has to chuck up a prayer. And this is what makes Dre such a difficult matchup for bigger players. Not only does he have the strength to hold his own, but his active hands are constantly prodding at the ball and not allowing guys like Sabonis or Jokic to put the ball on the floor at any time. It's not just Draymond who can hold his own on defense against Sabonis either. We all know Looney is more than capable of holding his own in these matchups. Take this play for example. Sabonis and Huerter run a dribble handoff. Loon does a great job at keeping the space in between Huerter and Sabonis, preventing the initial pull-up before then sliding his feet over to defend the rolling Sabonis. Having these two guys on the defensive end is going to make it that much more difficult for Sabonis to get anything going. But it's not just the defense which makes Draymond an X factor for this Dubs team. We all know Draymond is a great passer, but particularly against teams with a big like Sabonis that have no hope against Steph out on the perimeter, what they love to do is send two bodies to Steph, and what the Warriors love to do is to run those 4-on-3 situations into the ground. Like on these two plays where Dre gets the ball in those situations and finds two easy buckets, one of which being a wide open Klay Thompson 3-point shot. And it goes much deeper than just Steph Curry and Draymond Green being able to exploit Domantas Sabonis. The Kings are a bad defensive team. Over the last 30 games of the season, they were the 26th rated defense. Just to put this into perspective, look at the 4 teams below them. Every single one of those teams were tanking. Even if you look at the course of the entire season, the Kings are the worst defense in this year's playoffs, and that means Steph Curry won't be the only one doing damage. I want to show you what Jordan Poole did last time a team didn't have a good matchup for him.
Catch it, Gordon backs it up, 3 to shoot now, Poole. Oh, nice little shot fake, and knocks it down. The basket, instead of settling for shots. Poole gets by Gordon. Oh, Poole lays it in. He's already making an impact. Here is Poole back on the floor. He is back at work.
I know for a fact I don't need to show you guys what Klay Thompson will do against a team without a good matchup for him. The same Klay Thompson that just made 300 threes this season, by the way. Or how about Andrew Wiggins, the much better version of Harrison Barnes? This all matters because having these guys prevents the Kings from being able to trap Steph or throw two bodies at him on every single possession, like teams have tried to do in the past. I mean, they can still try to do that, but the Warriors have more than enough weapons to take advantage of the worst defense in the playoffs. Now, the Warriors, on the other hand, have the 7th ranked defense since the All-Star break, and more importantly, they don't just have one great defender, nor do they only have 2, but 3 proven elite defensive players that can match up against the Kings' best players. And that's without even mentioning Jonathan Kuminga, who could play a role defensively as someone who has proven he can stay in front of quick guards. De'Aaron Fox is a tough ask, but even the likes of Kevin Huerter and Monk could be good matchups for JK. Now ask yourself, which player on the Kings is guarding Steph Curry? Sabonis seems to think it'll be rookie Keegan Murray.
A lot of stuff, he's going to be guarding one of the best players in the league,
I mean, do I really need to say anything more? I think the Warriors take care of business in 5 or 6 games and move on to the next round. With that being said, if you did make it all the way to the end of the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel for more. Have a great day. Bye.